Alright guys, it is 10 p.m. We are getting ready to fire up the rental truck and hit the road for Florida, 997 miles. I've got my co-pilot. Hey Dre, got my co-pilot. You gonna drive us down? I'm sleeping, right? I don't see that happening, but it's time to hit the road. Next stop, Florida. Goodbye, Pennsylvania. We'll be back to visit you again someday, but we've crossed into our first new state. Welcome to Maryland. Only got like 6 more to pass through before we make it to Florida. Well, we made it to Washington, D.C. Check out these pretty cool buildings with all the nice colors at night. One's got all kinds of different colors. Blues, purples, greens. It's very cool looking. So yeah, we're in Washington, D.C. right now. We are coming up on Virginia very soon. So I definitely had to show you guys these really cool buildings at night down here in the city as we pass through. Well, we made it to Richmond, Virginia. We're now about 192 miles into our 997 mile trip. So we're closing in on North Carolina. I believe it's about 75 miles or so from here. This clock on the left's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty close to the highway too, but always, like I said, we're closing in on North Carolina, so that'll be our next check-in is when we finally reach the North Carolina border. But as you can see, the city of Richmond. Check out this, guys. We got a massive Marlboro factory. Look at that, like, big, like, cigarette there on the right side. We made it to North Carolina, but as you can see, we found the rain along the way. They say it's coming down pretty hard, you know, for the past, I guess, about, half hour, 45 minutes. But we actually tried to make our first fuel stop, and the place we stopped at said they had diesel fuel, but they were all out of it. So we just got back on. I mean, I was only at about half a tank, so we just got back on the road and gonna have at it again. But welcome to North Carolina. It is cold and wet here as we're passing through. Well, here's that torrential rain I was talking about. I've actually had to slow down to about 45 miles an hour just on the highway here, just because it's almost whiteout conditions. It's raining so hard, but we're gonna try to keep moving. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse, and we'll see if we can get through this. Well, somebody's trip just got a little bit more expensive. Luckily, this is not us. You can see it off in the distance. If you've ever driven down I-95 crossing from North Carolina to South Carolina, you know exactly what this is. South of the border, Pedro's. You can see the giant tower with the sombrero on top and all the cool lighting. I've been in this place a few times. It definitely is a sight to see. So if you've never been to, obviously, Pedro south of the border is definitely something you need to check out. If you're coming, from North Carolina to South Carolina. But there it is. Look at all the colors and the giant billboard. Very cool to see. And by the way, welcome to South Carolina. Well, good morning, everyone. We're taking a bathroom break pit stop. We're about 40 miles from the South Carolina-Georgia line. We're going to stop for a bathroom break, put the doggies outside for a walk. But we've actually found some palm trees for the first time on our journey here. We've actually just crossed the 600-mile mark in total miles of our 997 that are to our new home. So it's been a long night. I think we're about 7 or so hours into our trip, and we've got about another 400 miles to go, or they're just under 400 miles to go. So about 4 or 5 more hours on the road, and we're going to be arriving at our new home in Florida. So back to it, and coming up soon is going to be the cross into Georgia. There it is. Thank you for visiting South Carolina. That means we are crossing into the one state that separates us and Florida, and that would be Georgia. Next stop was going to be that Florida-Georgia line. This Georgia is I enjoy driving through Georgia. I love all these waterways and bridges that you pass over as you go through, out down 95 southbound. As you'll see coming up here, a lot of these bridges and crossovers of the water, and lots of really nice views as you come into the state of Georgia. There it is. Welcome to Georgia. Let's get some of those delicious Georgia peaches while we're here. This can only mean one thing. Pen to Flow has arrived in the state of Florida.
Y'all ready for this?
Welcome to Florida. Just had to go through the agricultural inspection station and through the weigh station to come into Florida. We've made it 750 miles without having to hit a weigh station or any checkpoints, but come right into Florida within the first mile. We're on the scale, so that's what you get for coming to Pennsylvania and Florida. But that's our welcoming present from the state of Florida. But hey, we got green lit, so we are on the road to our new home. The city off to our left here is the city of Jacksonville, and what is this crazy person doing in front of me? That's another welcome to Florida, and crazy driving. But like as I was saying before that guy did that, this is the city of Jacksonville. If this was closer to Orlando and my potential work area, I would love to live in Jacksonville. It's a beautiful city because with all the harbor and all the waterways. As you can see, there's a good view of the city with all the water and the harbor and everything. It's just a beautiful city. These are some of the main reasons that we wanted to move down here. And the final stop on our Pen to Flow tour, you guessed it, the city of Orlando. Now, if you're familiar with this city, you know exactly what is here. And it is two of the main reasons we wanted to move to this area. Obviously, Disney World and Universal Studios. So the last stop on this tour is going to be our new home, and it's only a few miles away. So enjoy the views of Orlando, and then next stop is going to be our new home.